From the house of Songo, this is Gaytopix, the only source for hot topics and gay news. Good afternoon. Today is September 16th. It's Gaytopix All Day Monday. Please comment and drop those emojis. Welcome to my house. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, PAPISONGO, the only host to bring you the latest gay and lesbian headlines and breaking news. Speaking of which, let's get started with breaking news that developed this morning. Famed iconic supermodel Christie Brinkley, 70, injured herself while preparing for her debut tonight on Dancing with the Stars Live. She actually broke her arm. And in the midst of finding a replacement, they replaced her with her daughter, Sailor Moon. So tonight, don't expect to see Christie Brinkley. You will see Sailor Moon, her daughter, which they look identical. There's no resemblance there. Also breaking news right now is Beyonce's new biopic that premieres tonight on ABC. In honor of Beyonce's biopic, which is basically a documentary based on the music and collaborations she did for The Lion King, ABC changed its Twitter handle to ABC. Please check it out and see. It's tonight at 10 o'clock on ABC. It's probably going to be like her Netflix series, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does tonight at 10 o'clock on ABC. Now let's get started. We're live in Midtown Manhattan, inside Bryant Park, in honor of Fashion Week. I wanted to take you where it all began. The tent with a landmark staple of Bryant Park for years. The Bryant Park Corporation, or BPC, which owns Bryant Park, was frustrated with the park being consumed with thousands of people during the spring and fall every year, which made the park inaccessible to the public. To address the fears, the BPC makes all events free and open to the public. One exception was the New York Fashion Week shows that formerly took over the park for 2 weeks in the winter and in the late summer each year. BPC co-founder Dan Biderman often publicly expressed his frustration that the fashion shows were not under Bryant Park Controls Corporation. They pay us millions of dollars. It's $1 million I would happily do without, he told the Los Angeles Times. BPC was particularly frustrated that the fashion shows dominated the park during two crucial times: in late summer, when the weather is perfect for visitors, and in early February, necessitating the early closure of the park's popular free admission ice skating ring. So they opted out to host the runway show events, and they subsequently moved to the Lincoln Center, where it is held now. A high-class operatic atmosphere is a perfect place to launch a designer's new line of runway looks. Let's get started with Gaytopix on this busy Monday afternoon. Billy Porter shuts down London Fashion Week with 6 outfit changes in under 48 hours. If you needed a photogenic example of the word extra, search for Billy Porter. The actor has made an appearance on a number of front rows. The Pose actor has made an appearance on a number one of front row seats at London's Fashion Week, wearing the most fierce and fabulous outfits we've ever seen. But it's not just the extravagant outfits that has caught our eye, but the sheer number of changes he's made so far. The Pose star has made 6 outfit changes in under 48 hours, despite the rising hot temperatures in the United Kingdom. The 49-year-old came to slay with several outfits that are all entirely different, making his entrance to each show as dramatic as possible. Do you consider Billy Porter to be an icon of fashion with his extravagant outfits? Comment below. #Gaytopix. Do you know who J.K. Rowling is? J.K. Rowling is best known for writing the Harry Potter fantasy series. which has won multiple awards and sold more than 500 million copies, becoming the best-selling book series in history. J.K. Rowling has lived a rags to riches story in which she progressed from living on welfare to writing on recycled paper, sitting in a cafe in London, to becoming the world's first billionaire author. She is known to have more money than the Queen of England. Yes, that's a fact. Here's a brief history. The author started her empire writing her 7 Harry Potter books, according to the New York Times. She made $1.15 billion off of those alone. She earned 10% of the profits from the films, which totaled $652 million. She sold television rights for an estimated $250 million. She also acted as a consultant for the theme park based on Harry Potter, which has been known to compensate through 2% of ticket sales from those parks. That means 2% of every ticket sold to the Harry Potter event she gets. That's a lot of money. Lastly, she earned money giving a licensing fee to the play that's soon to be scheduled for release live on Broadway in December, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Just like Hamilton, there's a wait list. Get your tickets now for Christmas seating. She also reportedly earned $50 million from her spin-off Harry Potter novels. All of this would add up to a total of $2.5 billion. I've got plenty of money, more money than I ever dreamed of. But I'm not a billionaire, J.K. Rowling told Katie Couric in 2005. However, that was 2005. This is 2019. So she's a billionaire. As for the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, she has an estimated net worth of $520 million. However, the entire British royal family has an estimated worth of $88 billion. But I'm not here to report. I'm not here to report on the facts of the royal family. I'm here to report on just the Queen. Despite her many jewels and crowns and 400-bedroom palace, her $520 million net worth doesn't even come close to J.K. Rowling's $2.5 billion empire. Speaking of Harry Potter, he must not be named is what the series often referred to the character Voldemort. And you know who is someone often referred to by Whoopi Goldberg, who currently resides in the White House. The comedic legend and host of ABC's The View, Whoopi Goldberg, steadfastly refuses to say President Trump's name out loud, despite acknowledging that he's the man in charge. In an interview with CNN's David Axelrod on the Axelrod Files, Goldberg said that she can't use Donald Trump's name in conjunction with the word president. And though she knows that people don't like that I don't do it, I'm fine with that. There's lots of stuff I do that people don't like. You know, I can live with that, she added. Goldberg said she believes referring to him as President Trump honors him in some way. Listen, this is the first time where I can wrap my mind around this, and that people felt the need to put this in. So yeah, I know people don't like that I do it. I'm fine with that, she said. Change is coming, and it's not coming because it's even ideological. It's coming because you're endangering. You're allowing things to endanger our children, our country, and our air, Goldberg said. I just want people in power who remember what the promise of America is. Not was, but is, Goldberg concluded in her interview. However, my team, the IAB, Industry Analysis Bureau, found footage just last week on Tuesday, September 10th, of the famed EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner accidentally saying Trump's name for the first time since he had taken office in 3 years. Trump has been criticized by many for his racism, bigotry, lying, and of course the border wall, to say the least. And Whoopi vowed never to speak his name until he was no longer in office. She made the slip of the tongue on The View when asked about telling the difference between racists and Trump voters who weren't racist when they marched in Charlottesville, North Carolina. No one seemed to notice, but I did, and I'm reporting it to you. She said his name twice. Despite his many flaws, do you still acknowledge Trump as the President of the United States? Comment below, #Gaytopix. I got a lot today. Speaking of politics, Mayor Pete Buttigieg made history during the third Democratic primary debates on Thursday. Mayor Pete became the first candidate to ever talk about being gay during a presidential debate. During his closing remarks, the South Bend, Indiana mayor discussed coming out while running for re-election in June 2015. He said that he was well into his adulthood before I was prepared to acknowledge the simple fact that I am gay, he told the New York Times. On the debate stage, however, the 37-year-old who served in the military under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, like myself from 1996 to 2005, Buttigieg recalled wondering whether publicly acknowledging his identity would be the ultimate career-ending professional setback. I came back from deployment and realized you only get one life to live, he said. And I was not interested in not knowing what it was like to be in love and any longer, so I just came out. However, Buttigieg said his faith in Indiana voters was rewarded when he was re-elected just months after coming out, defeating Republican Kelly Jones with an 80% overall rating. That victory was actually much larger than the first election when he ran in 2011. Would you vote for a gay president? Comment below, #Gaytopix. As for his sexual orientation, it doesn't matter to me if he's gay or not. Just do your job and fix the mess Donald Trump created. Can I get an amen? Or how about a Chance Crawford? The sexy gossip star is trending long and hard. His press release for his new Amazon television series, The Boys, Chance Crawford's promotional calendar shows his cock fully erect and visible. The sea creature themed calendar features the star, Chance Crawford, and an Aquaman-like superhero in various poses wearing an extremely tight spandex bodysuit. He posted a picture to his 1.9 million followers on Instagram last week and generated a social media sensation. I bet had he posted that picture on Facebook, he'll be in Facebook jail. Banned for 30 days. Chance. No second chances for you, Chance. I guess that's why he posted it on Instagram. The Boys is currently in production and set to swim into homes on Amazon Prime this March 2020. What are your thoughts on Amazon's new series, The Boys, and Chance's imprint? Comment below, #Gaytopix. This looks like the year to be Jennifer Lopez. She still proves she's still Jenny from the block. She is engaged to New York Yankee Hall of Famer and is set to marry Alex Rodriguez any moment now. She just started to headline her own residency in Las Vegas. She is in talks to host this year's Super Bowl halftime show, which may feature Miami's own Pitbull. Lopez also delivered an Oscar-worthy performance in the $32 million opening weekend movie Hustlers. However, A-Rod is so proud of Jennifer Lopez, the former baseball star, 44, surprised his fiancée by sending her a cake and a sweet note in honor of the opening of her highly anticipated drama Hustlers. Rodriguez was home covering a Philadelphia Phillies game for Fox News, but J-Lo 50 shared clips of the surprises to her Instagram story on Friday. "Oh my God, look at this," she says as she pans over the cake, which was decorated with the silhouette of a stripper on a pole and surrounded by edible dollars. Rodriguez also sent his love a plate of pink and white frosted cake pops. But you know I'm here to spill the tea, bitches. Are you ready for the shade? Hustler's ex-stripper who inspired J-Lo's role says Cardi B should have played her instead. Samantha Barbash, also known as Samantha Fox, has penned a new tell-all book entitled Underscore, which documents her time entertaining some of the wealthiest men on the planet. Samantha is reported to be the inspiration behind Jennifer Lopez's character Ramona in the new film. Although Samantha is flattered that J-Lo has taken on her role as the ringleader in the crew of strippers that scammed high-end clients out of thousands of dollars, she exclusively tells HollywoodLife.com that she thinks rapper Cardi B could relate more to her character. The press hitmaker plays Diamond in the new film. Samantha explained that she was approached by the film's producers to share her story, but she chose not to share her story. But she chose not to take part in the movie because she didn't feel it was her true story. I said it from day one, even to the producers. Cardi doesn't have the acting skills that Jennifer does, but Cardi could relate more to who I was, because even though she wasn't in the same club, we were both in the same industry, Samantha said. If Cardi took some acting lessons and shadowed me, I'm sure she would have had played a better role for my character. I'm flattered that Jennifer Lopez wanted to play me, but to be quite honest, she's Jennifer Lopez, Samantha concluded. But by the end of the day, I felt like it was a little disrespectful that she's never even taken the time out, even if I didn't want to partake in the movie, to study my mannerisms, to study the person who I am. You've never met me, and you're playing this wonderful role. She doesn't know who I am or who I was. I'm not saying Jennifer didn't play a phenomenal role and that the movie didn't look cute, but it's just not accurate. And the movie isn't accurate, the mother of one said. I have to agree with Samantha. I think if the producers waited for Cardi B to heal from her liposuction and breast implants, Cardi B would have been the one in talks for the Best Actress in Drama Academy Award at this year's Oscars. Cardi B is slaying the competition, got rappers retiring and throwing shoes at her. What do you think of Jennifer Lopez's performance in the movie Hustlers? And do you think Cardi B would have done a better job? Comment below, #Gaytopix. I'm gonna take a break right now, okay? I wanna look for something. I'm only 19 minutes in. Damn, I went fast. Because I had a lot of news to tell you. I can't see your comments because you're too far away, but I'm glad I'm actually sitting at a desk. It's actually quite relieving. I also don't have an internet connection because they're making me try to log into Brian Park's Wi-Fi, which is not happening. Well, that's it for Gaytopix. Ask Poppy and Sound Off is next. But stay tuned tomorrow for Undercover Tuesdays as a report live from the bushes inside the Ramble, inside Central Park. If you're familiar with the Rambles, you know what I'm talking about. It's a notable gay cruising area, and I'm going to be lurking in the bushes tomorrow live in Central Park at 3 p.m. for Undercover Tuesdays. You don't want to miss this explosive undercover investigation. My team, the IAB, the Industry Analysis Bureau, will go lurking for people and find out why they choose to have sexual encounters in the park. Studies have shown that the actual park and the sexual encounters among gay men are down. But we're gonna find out tomorrow live at 3 p.m. to see what all the buzz is about in the bushes. I can't wait for this explosive investigation. I'm gonna restart my computer, my tablet, I guess, iPad, so I can get my information. But people have been asking me, like, how come you haven't posted your sources, or how do we know what you're saying is true? All you have to do is simply look. I also have a script of quotes. I quote people, so how can I be lying? Like anybody who goes live or any news reporter, they get their information accurately and report it live. I can't show you the information because I am live, but I can report it to you. That's what a reporter does. And so therefore I have reported it to you. You're always in the mix with Gaytopix. Comment below, hashtag Gaytopix. No, that's where I was going. Come on, this one is good. I need it. I didn't put it in last night because I thought I had enough information, but it seems like I'm out. But look up Chance Crawford's Twitter and you'll see the imprint. Or just look up Google the boys. His cock is pretty big. I had to report that. Okay, let me see what I could do if I can get on. I can't get online. This is ridiculous. I'm on their Wi-Fi. All right, well, people were asking me questions over the weekend. How come they can't find my movies and stuff like that, or they didn't know I was a porn star. As I said, that's why I didn't come on. My bad. Okay, now can I go? Okay. Speaking of Fashion Week, I'm going to go back about my porn name in a minute, but this is the story I wanted to relay. Speaking of Fashion Week, there are 9 fashion designers, 9 queer fashion designers that are leaving their mark on the industry. Number 1, Alan Caroti. A strip of metal crossing the nose like a band-aid, an earring that seems to do everything except pierce the ear. Alan Karachi's jewelry seems to adore the body in beautiful, if not unexpected ways. I'm fascinated by the anatomy, the 33-year-old British designer says. I think I don't take any body parts for granted. His pieces convey a certain fluidity despite their weighty material, blurred the lines between hard and soft, decadent and astery, masculine and feminine. Jewelry has always been gender fluid in my eyes, says Karachi. My pieces acknowledge the complexity of human existence. They are not bound by the constraining ideas of female fragility or male strength. Number 8, Hannah Holoquist. Hannah Holoquist's work centers a specifically queer expression of femininity, exaggerating high feminine aesthetics until they become surreal. Lushly draped fabrics and sumptuous textiles, the 22-year-old creates herself. As a lesbian, I've never felt the need to cater to men or the male gaze, she explains. Working in fashion, Holoquist has seen how feminine expressions still centers the gaze and still seeks to create a feminine fantasy outside a heterosexual approach to fashion, specifically through exploring female heterosexualism, coding her clothing for gay femmes. Holoquist's most recent collection sought to escape the narrative of women as muses for men, but the future, she hopes, her work will focus less on defending femininity against men and instead on celebrating its more positive aspects. I love being a high femme, and I love being gay, she says. I want there to be a visual language that expresses that. I don't know, it seems like every feminist is a lesbian. So I'm questioning Amy Klobuchar running for president and even Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, I'm suspect of you, Camilla. Number 7 of the queer top fashion people leaving their mark in the industry is Gogo Graham. On the back of the door of Gogo Graham's studio hangs a ribbed white cotton polyester top with creamy silk ribbons laced up the back. It's one-of-a-kind pieces for Cecilia Gentili, the actress and beloved leader from within New York's transgender and sex worker communities, who would wear the garment at her solo show later this week. She deserves every ounce of recognition she can get, Graham says. Born in Texas, the designer, who now lives and works out of Brooklyn, has been making ethereal feminine couture for trans women for more than 5 years. Her work is made entirely from upsculpted material found in Goodwill bins and clothing gathered from her friends. She incorporated those elements long before major designers saw the value or the least the dollar signs in substantially or in highlighting trans models and gender non-conformity in their collections without materially giving back the people who made those trends possible. I can't see because the sun is like glaring and technology is like, they make all this sucking shit, but you still can't see shit in the sun. That's larger than the industry. That's just nature of capitalism, Graham says. I just wish things were different. Until then, she opens, pay the girls. That's it. I agree. Pay them damn girls. Okay, number 6. Nihil by Neil Grotzinger. When Neil Grotzinger started his brand, it was a man's take on couture for men, bringing the rigor, beard work, and hand-applied embellishments that had previously reserved for men, or for women, to men, Grow to Zinger aimed at questioning and subverting masculine stereotypes. But in this year's sense, the brand has changed and grown, still revolving around subversion and contradictional. Nihil has become gender agnostic. It's actually very hard for me to clarify the specific person that I designed for, Grow to Zinger said. It's really just about anyone who doesn't necessarily want to conform to gender stereotypes on any side of the spectrum. In practice, the latest collection looks like skin-tight crop tops a la Christina Aguilera's early 2000 midriff era print with stills from vintage gay porn. It's the same clashing of ideas that was the impetus for his brand, but now it's an easily accessible format. I actually do love his designs. Number 5, Rich Mizzy. South African brand Rich Mizzy, named for its designer, straddles the worlds of fashion and furniture design, but Mizzy approaches both from the same point of view. Clothing and furniture serve the same purpose, to support the human whilst being aesthetically pleasing. It's human body that I designed for and not people's ideas behind them. Mizzy's clients are usually art enthusiasts who don't necessarily need to understand a piece to love it, responding instead to the bold colors and patterns. The tension between delicacy and strength and the deconstruction of structure. After all, this is very much a part of heritage. Mizzy artfully confronts ideas of gender and race within South African culture. It's important for him to shoot lookbooks and campaigns where he grew up because the reality of queerness belongs in those spaces and everywhere else I exist, he said. Get off! There's a bug on me. No Sezo, number 4, etched a point in fashion history when it showed at New York Fashion Week in February, becoming the first brand founded by a trans person to ever show on the official calendar. But the Los Angeles-based label achieved this on their own terms, underscoring the company's mission. For me, success feels like knowing that we are putting our friends and other people on a platform that we can see ourselves in the mainstream fashion in ways that they are not typical for white models on the runway, brand co-founder Pierre Davis says. Working alongside Aaron Hayes, the cast a lineup features exclusively people of color with a few friends from the music business, including Steve Lachey, May Moniz, and Khalees Lou, wearing the business bitch-inspired range. Next on the calendar, hitting up Fashion Week again in September, and the commentary, The Legacy. I'm looking forward to see his looks as well. Christopher John Roberts. Bubblegum pin stripes were sheer pink paneling, zebra print stretched into black and white checkerboards, chestnut fur on top of clashing earth tone flannels. To say that Christopher John Rogers doesn't scare easily would be an understatement. Fabrics that others tend to shy away from, either due to the strangeness in color or in feel, are the ones of that catch the eye, says a 25-year-old Brooklyn-based designer. You know, all these Brooklynites live in Williamsburg. I know quite a few designers who live in Williamsburg. And I bet these Brooklynites and these Brooklyn designers that I'm mentioning live in Williamsburg as well. It's the new hotspot for trans. I love pushing limits of fabric and color and exploring fantasy. I'm equally inspired by reality and pragmatism. I'm not a costume designer, so I really want people to function and live in the clothes we make. And when he says people, he means all people, regardless of size and gender. I try to think about comfort and the ability for multiple types of bodies to feel empowered by the clothes. Roger says, the only reason that I love generous volume because it feels optimistic and democratic. Number 2, Kyrie by Jamil Muhammad. It was partially on recommendation for an exclusive at Barney's New York that Jamil Muhammad found his way into jewelry. Unfortunately, Barney's is due for bankruptcy, Joe. So Jamil might have to find Macy's as an alternative to put his jewelry collection in. Though he was designing apparel at the time, a necklace he had once made caught the person's eye, and with a little engagement, Muhammad switches focus. But Kiri, his brand, was conceptualized during the same year as the Ferguson protests in the aftermath of Mike Brown's death and the formulation of Black Lives Matter movement, which means it also puts more than mere accoutrements. I thought to myself, if I have to access to the stores and media, then I have to look for something to say, Muhammad says. So I decided that I wanted to use what I was going to do to advocate for black people. Muhammad now does just that, sourcing black culture and history as inspiration and designing for people who understand his worldview. The ideology runs through his high-end custom fashion jewelry business, which features 18-karat gold and diamond charms, as well as through his fashion jewelry collection, which he plans to expand soon. I told you he needs to go to Macy's because Barney's is bankrupt. And the number 1 queer fashion designer leaving their mark in the industry is Diego Montana. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, odds are you've seen something Diego Montana has designed, like Sasha Velour's final lip sync look in season 9. Removable mask and all. Mask has always been central to Montana's work, creating an image that isn't bound by reality compared to drag. Montana's Orient creations are designed in collaboration with his clients, a symbolic relationship he treasures. The work I do builds upon what they've already created, he says. I love working in the realm because it's all based on fantasy. We can do anything. While Montana is busy creating costumes for drag queens, he likes to revisit his work as an artist, producing large-scale artist installations in a Bob Mackie meets Cristiano and Jean-Claude moment, maybe with robots. As a designer whose work has walked the Oscars red carpet, he dressed Shangela for the 2019 ceremony. The possibilities are endless. I think he dresses just about every drag queen. Follow Diego Montana on Instagram at Diego Montana. Well, I'm glad I was able to put that fashion intake in. And I still got 20 minutes. Wow, there's a lot of news today to report. But it's Gaytopix all day Monday, so I'm here to report it to you. Remember, there's always more to the story, and you're always in the mix with Gaytopix. Please comment below. Drop those hashtags and emojis. Please, I want to see those emojis. I can't tell you how much I love those emojis. I really do. Drop them hearts. Drop those faces. Well, back to my question, Ask Poppy. Someone says that they can't find my movies. I think it's you, Gary. That they can't find my movies. Well, when I first came on, in 2009, I premiered my I premiered a movie for Bareback That Hole. Just one movie, and I fucked legend and porn star Dominic Ryder. That was my very first movie. But however, they had me working as a top. So I portrayed a top, and only a top, fucking white boys. So I was told through many producers when I was auditioning for other production companies that I needed a name. My initials are KC. People often refer to me as KC. Thank you, Gary. I love you too. So people often refer to me as KC. My own family referred to me as KC. So I use that name. But when I went to several production companies, they all told me that I couldn't use initials. I actually had to come up with a name. So I changed KC to actually the name KC, Kasey. Anthony was my last name because I was told I had to have a full name. Anthony came from the guy who inspired me, who actually referred me into porn, which was my ex, Cameron. Cameron and I dated for a while, and he was the one who got me involved in porn back in 2009. However, I never considered it to be a relationship because he lived in LA and I lived in New York, and we only saw each other like once or twice a year, so I'm not really sure how much of a relationship that is. And you know, when you're a porn star, you're too busy fucking everybody else, so you're not really loyal, so I didn't really call it a relationship. Although I was getting my foot in the door and, you know, finding my way in there, I wasn't fucking every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but he was. And so is every other porn star to this day. But so I came up with the name Casey Anthony because Cameron's name is Anthony. God rest his soul. He died recently of a heart attack, and I really do miss him. And he was my inspiration and my only boyfriend, if you want to call it that. But like I said, I really can't say it because it was long distance, and I really can't say a long distance relationship is a long distance relationship. So, thereby came the name Casey Anthony. So while working for Bareback That Hole, my name was Casey Anthony. I went on to produce 30 films for them. 30. You can find me on their website. However, when, you know, time went on, 2011, 2012, before I got my big move into Macho Fucker, I wanted to reach a different platform. And so I went and did a movie for XTube. When I did my first movie for XTube, Casey at Bat, I was one of the first movies to reach 1 million views on XTube. It's still on there, and I'm still collecting royalties. And it brought me to a whole different audience, kind of like what Macho Fucker did. It brought me to a whole different world of people and different worlds of fans. So people actually knew me and knew where I was and knew who I was. But so yeah, as time progressed and before I got into Macho Fucker, my name was Casey Anthony. Then this bitch from Florida goes ahead and kills her daughter. and is acquitted of killing her daughter. But the forensics show the evidence that the body was in her car and she didn't report her baby missing for 30 days. So, bitch, you're guilty. So people were reluctant to hire me as Casey Anthony because of this bitch. So I had to drop Anthony. And so I left the KC part. And I worked for other, you know, production companies like Poppy Thugs and Raw Swagger and all that good stuff. And used the name KC. But it wasn't until I went to Macho Fucker that they realized that my name on Adam for Adam was PAPISONGO. I had my name on Adam for Adam, which I actually recently just found out, since 2004. Since 2004, way before I was a porn star, I was PAPISONGO. Because people always tell me, oh, there's a PAPISONGO and he's Dominican, and yeah. He actually stole my name because we both worked for a Latino fan club. He stole my name. But because he was big and black, they, of course, you know, they took him. As opposed to, you know, listening to me and taking my name, so I had to use KC. But when he passed away of a drug overdose, I took my name back. And it's now copywritten. So any bitch that try to take my name, I'll see you in court. There are people who try to copy it. There are people who try to copy KC as well. There are even people who look like me and use my name or use my likeness. Like there's a guy named Papi Suave. What the fuck is Papi Suave? Bitch, you're trying to be a PAPISONGO and you can't be a PAPISONGO because I'm PAPISONGO. So you came up with Suave as opposed to PAPISONGO. And then Max Connor hit me back. You see, I don't want to talk porn because we saved that for Cliffhanger Fridays. But Max Connor clapped back and you know, out of hate and retaliation against me and made a movie with Papi Suave and called it A Night Out with Papi. I'm Poppy. Nobody else is Poppy. There was little Poppy, but I'm Poppy. There's no other Poppy. That's why I love you, Poppy, is my hashtag. I love you, Poppy. I didn't want to talk about all that stuff, but I did. Because people are asking me, so I did it. What's another question people ask me? Why am I so concerned with porn? Yes, yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. Why am I so concerned with porn, and why don't I just let it go? That's like saying you went to school and did a residency to become a doctor in a hospital for 7 years, and then went to school for 12 years to become a MD, a medical professional. And then when you actually get your residency and your diploma and your degree and your license to practice, you get turned down. That's kind of like how I felt. I had such a passion to do this and to do something because I have that face that belongs on camera. I have a face that belongs on TV, you know? And what better way to do it than be in porn? You know, they always say if you want to make it in gay culture, you either be a porn star or a drag queen. So I became a porn star, and I was very successful until 2012. I said that in a previous episode, and I went into great detail about that. So you guys can find it on the previous episode on my YouTube page, Gaytopix. You can also subscribe and hit the bell button to get notifications of when a new video is popping up. That's Gaytopix, Gaytopix. There's so many bugs here. Get on my nerves. I'm going to talk about my show. So this is very personal. Like I said, I'm pursuing journalism, and I think this is a way for me to get my foot in the door and learn as I progress and learn as I go. And you guys are growing with me. So especially you, Gary, being the first to acknowledge Gaytopix. I really appreciate that you're watching and you're listening. It means a lot to me that somebody's actually watching and listening. And I really, it means more to me than you'll ever know. So I really appreciate the love. But it's actually helping inspire me to do it more and more. It is pretty exhausting doing this by myself, where I have to do research and write my script for the teleprompter and get my facts straight and, you know, search for the stories and report live every day from a different location. It's very exhausting. I didn't realize how, I understand how dedicated reporters are. As I said, I use ABC7NY as my inspiration, but I didn't realize how exhausting it can be. Like, oh my God, just to report live. But I'm doing it for an hour. I'm not doing it for like 10 minutes or, you know, for a segment. I'm actually doing it for an entire hour with no breaks, you know, and so it's actually really, really exhausting. And I also wanted to edit before I put my videos out, but then that takes up time as well. So I want to get the video out on the same day that I made the video, you know, so it can be very exhausting and tiresome when you're deadline driven. I could really use some help. If you or know anybody that's in production or wants to help out and wants to grow with Gaytopix, please send me an email at gaytopix@gmail.com. I promise you, it won't be a mistake. That's gaytopix@gmail.com. I'm also looking for Voguers. If you Vogue, please, I want you to battle right here on my show. So you and your boys can battle, or you and your girls can kiki and battle. I need people who vogue, please. I want to show those who don't know what voguing is all about to know what the culture is about, because it's going to be one of my Undercover Tuesday episodes. So I want people to vogue, but no one seems to be hitting me up. So please, if you vogue and you want to battle on my show live, please send me an email at gaytopix@gmail.com. If you look like a gay celebrity, send me your pictures at gaytopix@gmail.com. You ever fan out with a gay celebrity? Send me your pictures at gaytopix@gmail.com. That's it for Gaytopix. Stay tuned tomorrow as I report live for Undercover Tuesdays. My team and I, the IAB Industry Analysis Bureau, will go undercover inside the Rambos, inside Central Park. We're going to be lurking in the bushes to find out who's lurking in there with us. You don't want to miss this explosive undercover investigation. You're always in the mix with Gaytopix. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. I'm your host, PAPISONGO. Have a blessed day. Bye.